right onto Valiant Street. Turn right onto Valiant Street, then turn right onto East 1st Avenue. Turn right onto East 1st Avenue, then turn left onto the Trans-Canada Highway ramp. Turn left onto the Trans-Canada Highway ramp. In 200 meters, merge onto Trans-Canada Highway, British Columbia 1 East. Continue on British Columbia 1 East for 29 kilometers. Continue straight to stay on 199A Street. Continue for 1.5 kilometers.
Hey Google, play Joe Rogan podcast. Hey Google, play Joe Rogan podcast.
Alright, asking Spotify to play the Joe Rogan Experience.
It just left you literally out in the cold. You could see our breath. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Go to another club. Go find new friends. Like,
that's crazy.
And they sit there like, come on, man. It's like great that they want to be in there. And then when they're in there, it's all about the guy who has the section, the piece of floor that's elevated 6 inches higher than the rest of it on the couch.
Like bottle service.
Bottle service. The guy who has a bottle. The guy showing up. People start throwing money in there, right? And I was in there. I was in there like a nobody, just watching. Like I just wanted, like, what the fuck? What is it? And then one day, I started getting to tour like. Wait, my shit still there?
Yeah, you got it.
We started getting to tour of October 2022, right? I didn't go out and do nothing like that. If I would go, I'd go to dive bars. I started going to bars in New York with my buddies out there. It was fucking dive bars. I fell in love with that shit. Drinking in some shitty place until 4 a.m. It was fun. But on New Year's was my first show back home. And it was my first time selling out back home. And I was like, I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna do that, what I saw them do and how they used to shit on me. I'm gonna do that tonight, on New Year's night. I'm gonna go to a club with my friends. I'll get a bottle and I'm gonna just go all out. See what it feels like. It was fucking awesome for like an hour. And then people start trying to like test you. And I'm like, nah, bro. I thought feeling.
Continue for 1 kilometer.
Wow, see what it feels.
Because it's a movie from 1973. Like, that's the whole thing about it. It's like you gotta put yourself in 1973 to really enjoy it.
This might be me being too picky with movies, but it is kind of tough to watch like a Western movie these days. It's such high definition. Like, I don't know, it's a little weird, man. I love movies from the 70s. I really like Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh yeah.
I like that movie, Saturday Night Fever.
Oh man, that's a great movie.
It's a little too intense when like John Travolta's character is just like, what is her name? That girl that ends up getting like kind of raped by those dudes. Not kind of, she got raped.
Yeah.
And
I forget her name.
And he's all like, you see, is that what you wanted? I'm like, oh shit, bro, she just got raped. Like, come for her or something. And then his friend falls off the bridge.
Yeah.
And all the attention goes to that. I'm like, hey, he just raped that chick. Yeah. So that part of the movie is a little like off to me, but I'm like, I don't know what.
It's a depressing movie.
Yeah, but
There's
the beginning is dope as fuck.
Yeah, well, it's dope as fuck because you're also realizing that those people are doing the exact same thing that people are trying to do at the club, sitting on that platform. They're trying to show out, and they're trying to show out by dancing.
I'm just intrigued by club culture in general, man. Maybe that's why I like that movie so much, because that guy's whole thing is like
he's just showing up and dancing better than anybody.
Yeah,
being
the man at the club.
Being the man. Yeah, when you saw him dance, like, oh my god, look at him go.
Yeah, and you know what though? When the part that really made me feel like look at him go is the beginning of that movie. He's just like walking, and then he gets 2 pizzas and folds them together, and then he sees a shirt. He's like, I'm gonna put that shirt on layaway. I'm gonna come back for it. I'll be like, hell yeah, that's life right there.
Give me some volume.
Turn right onto 88th Avenue East, signs for Trans-Canada Highway, Vancouver. Then use the right 2 lanes to take the Trans-Canada Highway ramp.
the life, Joe Rogan. Smoking a cigar, watching 70s movies.
Use the right 2 lanes to take the Trans-Canada Highway ramp, then merge onto Trans-Canada Highway.
Look how good he looks. When he walks, he's dancing. I mean, that dude's dancing when he walks.
Look at it. He's like, hey girl. Ah, never mind. Hell yeah, that's life, you know?
What a great song, too.
Oh yeah.
Because that song is what the movie's all about.
There's a speed trap ahead. In 600 meters, keep right at the fork to stay on Trans-Canada Highway, British Columbia 1 West.
I mean, they're just trying to... Look how handsome he was back then. God damn, John
2
Travolta.
pizzas.
2 slices at the same time.
Keep right at the fork to stay on Trans-Canada Highway.
With gold chain. That's what inspired me to get the gold chain of John Travolta, you know? Little pizzazz, little flash.
It's a great movie. But it also gave me a lot of anxiety. What year was that movie? 77?
I'm guessing. I feel like it's
Are you guessing?
77.
You ever hear the story? Oh, sorry, what are you gonna say?
No, I was 10 years old when that movie came out. And I remember getting anxiety about being an adult.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I remember they didn't know what the fuck they were doing with their life. They're just dancing, everybody's falling apart, and people are dying.
I feel like all life is people just going with it.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows, you know?
They also didn't have any fucking avenues. Like, where do you go? What do you do?
Oh, I heard Honduras? Honduras, there's no, like, addresses? I could be wrong. Maybe they have them by now, but
They don't have addresses.
they don't have that.
How do you get mail?
So the mailman just knows where you live. You think I'm making this up?
Is that like one town in Honduras or the whole country?
I think it's a lot of towns. I could be wrong. But here's like from the stories I've heard. So my son, I have a 4-year-old son, right? His mom is half Honduran. His mom though has never met her biological father. But my son's grandma, you know, obviously knows who this guy is. She would tell me these stories. She was a cool lady, man. She was telling me how like when she was, I think she was pregnant, or when my son's mom was a baby, she went to Honduras because her baby daddy had gotten deported.
Oh.
Yeah.
And she didn't
Guy's
have an address?
Republican. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. But she went to Honduras to like, I guess, be with the guy or at least look for the guy. I don't know. She says it's like crazy dangerous. Like the majority of the people walking around with machetes.
Whoa.
And I could be mixing it up because I've also heard stories about Salvadorians. But
a story that confirms what
yeah,
Really? What's this say?
someone on TripAdvisor just says, I'm trying to find help for my husband to get his U.S. visa. It's his mom's street address in Choluteca. And then someone responds and says, very few streets have formal names. It's common to see addresses such as X neighborhood, red house behind the church, or across the Johannesburg.
Whoa.
So if you know the name or look, someone can help
you gotta be a
Old school.
skilled fucking mailman.
Right, when do you think when they first started making towns, when was the first dude to say, this is Mike's Lane?
It had to be a fucking fed up mailman. It had to be a mailman who was like, I gotta get in charge of this town to fucking figure out these problems.
Right, what would they do before mail? Before there was the mail.
Memory.
No, they had to get letters to each other somehow. I mean, I know they just used ravens.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Send the ravens. Game of Thrones, you know?
Life
Passenger
has
pigeons.
gotten way too comfortable these days, man. We need to go back to like where you had to learn to communicate with ravens.
Wolves in the street.
Wolves in the street, mushrooms in religion, mushrooms in the church, wolves in the street. That's my next fucking special right there.
It's not a bad thought, but a lot of people are gonna
I think we peaked somewhere in the 90s. I think that was enough technology.
die. Technology-wise?
Yeah, like that was enough comfort. Things were easy enough, you know? You could call people, you know. FaceTime?
Yeah, but the internet is the most important thing that's ever happened to people.
Ancient Egypt started a mail system.
Oh, wow.
Ancient Egypt.
Wow. 2400 BCE, when pharaohs used couriers to send out decrees throughout the territory of the state. The earliest surviving piece of mail is also Egyptian, which dates back to 255 BCE, recovered from the, boy, try saying that word.
I bet when they did it
Try
in the
saying that
streets,
word.
they were, wait,
Try
which
saying that
word?
word.
Oxfrey Heinkus? Oxrinkus.
Oxreheinchus? What do you think, Jamie?
I think the second one he said was probably the best.
If you click on it, does it tell you how to say it?
Oxrinkus. Oxrinchus.
It might be some weird way of saying it, you know? Is it like Google for the word? Let's see how to say it. Tell you. Oxyrhynchus. It's Greek. Interesting. Oxyrhynchus. Oh, wow.
Do you think you could impress like a scholar type girl with that word?
Nope.
Hey, baby, Oxyrhynchus.
You don't want to impress anybody that's impressed by big words. You don't want to impress them.
Yeah.
They're so stupid. They're impressed by big words.
I've heard too that like I guess like the most intelligent people, the most polite way of communication, the most intelligent way of communication is just making sure they understand what you're saying. So if you say it in the simplest words, that's technically the more intelligent route, the more polite route.
Right. Because sometimes people are fucking with you where they're using words are not common words.
Yeah.
And you have to go. I always ask, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You gotta ask what that means.
Ah,
You don't
for
know
sure.
what it means. Because some people pretend.
It's like the club shit. They're showing off the Rolex, but they don't have a Rolex. They're showing off the big word.
You ever see Dennis Miller's act? Mm-hmm. Dennis Miller was a killer back in the day. Dennis Miller, like part of his comedy that was very different from anybody else's comedies were really obscure references to ancient literature and fucking early rulers and like obscure, like people were laughing. They didn't even know what the fuck they were laughing at. Like it was like weird references. like that you had to be very fucking smart and well read to know. I don't even know if he knew. You know what I'm saying? But that was part of the style.
I like that.
Like he was a smooth, intelligent guy that was talking down to you.
That's pretty. I mean,
but it was funny. It was funny material. It was good shit.
If you got them, you gotta flex them sometimes,
I guess, but it becomes a thing, right? That's what you're doing, and then that takes people out of like that. It's never really you. You're doing this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
which is okay too. Like it's all okay. Like Carrot Top's great. Pull out props. Is it funny? Yeah, great. It's great, but it's very different.
Yeah.
Very different than Mitch Hedberg. It's very different than Richard Pryor. Like it's all great. So it's all, but everybody's got their own way that they want to do it. And that's one of the cool things about comedy is like you can't tell. Like, you can kind of give your friends advice. You can say, hey man, like maybe you should slow your words down so people can understand you. But everybody does it different. Everybody does it. You got to find out how you do it. It's got to somehow or another match your personality for real. It's got to be the best way you can do it. And for some people, it's a character. Some people, they create a character and they go on stage with it. That's great too.
It's like, what do they call it? Finding your voice?
Yeah. Well, Dice became Dice. Dice was Andrew Silverstein. And his stand-up in the early days, he used to do a Travolta impression. It was amazing. He had an amazing Travolta impression. He's an incredible, impersonator. He does amazing impressions, but he just never does them. And then he would do this character called the Dice Man. And his character was the funniest part of his act. It was so funny. And that's when he'd do all those rhymes and shit. And this guy would be this fucking wild dude from Brooklyn. And then he just became Dice.
I saw him perform live at Hyenas.
Oh, nice.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Dice is awesome. I was a fan of Dice when I was 19 years old. So for me to be friends with him now just trips me out all the time. Whenever I'm around him, it trips me out. I was 19 years old and I was parked in a car in front of my house with this girl I was dating. And we were just listening to, I had a cassette player in my car. We were listening to Dice. And we were both howling laughing. Just howling laughing. Back then, like a lot of the comedy that I would listen to, with girls I was dating. It was a fun thing to do. Like, hey, you want to listen to some comedy? And we'd sit down there, and back then there was no internet, man. You had to put a fucking record on, and you'd listen to an old Richard Pryor album, and me listening to Dice with this girl, like I never even thought about doing comedy at that point. That was just fun. It was just, to me, it was just like, this is hilarious. And so now I'm friends with it. It's so weird.
That's a badass feeling, though.
It's crazy. I get a text message from Dice every now and again. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's Dice Clay.
Hell yeah.
It's wild.
I feel it. I think it.
Especially when you're young, like if you're 19 years old, you're a fan of someone, and then as a grown man, you're their friend. It's odd.
I'm a big Mark Norman fan.
I love Mark Norman.
I always watch his clips. Just a huge fan. And then I got to like open for him, meet him. He's like super cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Just hung out, whatever. We got to do Bert's like tour. He helped me write a bit. Like the shit was like unreal. I was like, holy shit! I just watching this dude. You know what I mean?
Right. Now you're friends with him.
Yeah. Hey,
it's cool.
Right now, I just remembered when we were watching that John Travolta stuff, and he said he did an impression. I don't know. I heard this story. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that when John Travolta was like blowing up, right after like Saturday Night Fever,
Right.
I heard that Freddie Prinze like ran into his apartment with like a crossbow or something. You ever hear that?
Freddie Prinze pulled a gun on somebody.
Or maybe it was a gun. Maybe I just imagined it was a crossbow.
Actor Jimmy Walker says Freddie Prinze once tried to kill John Travolta. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Badass. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
It was a crossbow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta pull the crossbow on people.
So he talked about it during the comedy show, the Comedy Store documentary series. Walker claims that Prince called him one day and announced, "We gotta kill John Travolta." He says, "I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm the biggest star on TV." The Good Times star 73 recalled. I said, "Well, a lot of people are on TV. I'm on TV." Walker said Prince shot back, "You're not bigger than me, man. I'm the biggest guy. I'm the best guy. Everybody knows me. I'm the funniest guy." Oh my God, he was crazy.
Man, when I started going up at Hyena, some of the people that would work there would be like, "You remind me of Freddie Prinze."
So he fired 3 arrows into John Travolta's door. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's what John Travolta said when it was happening. He said, "Oh my God."
Oh my God. That's crazy. He shot himself when he was 22 years old, man.
Freddie Prinze?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
I knew it. I was a kid back then, but my grandfather used to love that show, Chico and the Man.
He was on there.
Yeah, that was his show. That was the show that blew him up, bro. He blew up on television. He was like 20 years old. He was 20 years old. He had a sitcom.
There, you can find his clips on YouTube. I love watching it.
It was a good comic. What was his? How old was he in when he did Chico and the Man? My grandfather loved Sanford and Sons, Chico and the Man, and All in the Family.
Freddie Prinze didn't look 22. He looked older. I feel like back then people just looked older quicker.
They
died
died
at
young
22.
too.
He did it. That was his 3rd season, so he started at 19.
Holy shit, bro.
Wow.
People used to age faster for sure.
Oh yeah, you ever seen that thing when they show like pictures of like Archie Bunker and Edith Bunker, and you find out how old they really were?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he does not look like 22. That looks like a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
Right? At least
Now I feel like Anne Hathaway. I don't know how old she is, but she looks 19.
Yeah, some of those ladies are keeping it together now.
Yeah.
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
Even the guys. And then there's all those conspiracies. They're like the children's blood, Illuminati blood. I put checkerboard flooring on the floor of my special, and people keep thinking like Freemason. Like they got them. I just like checkerboard flooring.
Bro, I went to a satanic wedding with Duncan Trussell. Duncan Trussell, he has this character called Little Hobo. And Little Hobo's a puppet, and he brings Little Hobo out, and he tells everybody that, his grandfather just died. He left behind his puppet. It's a satanic puppet. It's one of the funniest bits I've ever seen in my life. It's an amazing bit. So he does this guy who is like Anton LaVey's grandson, I think. They're Satanists. So they hired Duncan to do this routine at a satanic wedding. I go to the satanic wedding, and I take a picture with this dude. And to this day, people think I'm a Satanist now. Because I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I was like, this is so ridiculous. They're just silly people. I mean, I don't know if they're doing, like, real satanic shit when we're not around.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, I was like, I expected it to be, like, I wanted to just experience it.
Yeah.
So we got barbecued. We were off the rails. We were in another dimension. We were looking at life through, like, a water-covered shower door. Like, it was like, everything was very strange. And so, to me, watching Duncan do this Little Hobo routine in front of all these fucking Satanists, it was just wild. But it was hilarious. It was a fun time. But they were just like, I don't know what their thing is. Duncan says they're just hedonists. They don't follow any rules, and that's what they think of as Satanism. But, you know, maybe they do some creepy shit like
I bet you even in the religion of worshiping Satan, there's like different forms of it. Like I bet you even they're just like, you're not doing it right. This is how you do it.
Right. There's probably like hardcore Satanists who really are out there murdering homeless folks, and then there's other people that are like, you know, just like dressing up like devils.
Yeah, I remember seeing some shit like on TV one time where they're like, there's rules to it, like to a certain, like they're like, if you're a Satanist, there's like their own 10 commandments, like you're not supposed to kill animals unless it's like necessary for food.
Oh really?
Yeah, like never harm like children or women or some shit. Like they have like rules that even the devil's like, all right, bro, this is even too far. We'll find out when we get to hell.
Who was the guy that stumbled upon that Satanist place in the middle of the woods? Remember, there's that one dude that we had on, and there's this guy who used to work for NASA, who was a real Satanist, like in the Church of Satan, and this abandoned place where this guy used to do his research at. Someone went to visit it. Who was it?
But this guy, like,
was it Python Cowboy? Yeah,
but like, what time frame is this that he works at NASA? Like, did he help us get to the moon?
1960s, 1950s or 1960s? I think the 50s. It was in the 19. Let's go back and find out.
I think it's crazy. This is one of the guys that helped us get to the moon. Like,
oh, bro, this guy used to wear like the outfits and everything. Like, there's photos of him like at a real Satanist church.
Horns and like some dirty glasses.
He was like an open Satanist. Like you could kind of be an open Satanist and still be a rocket scientist in the 1960s. They hadn't figured out that was kind of fucked up yet.
There was a lot of shit that they hadn't figured out by then.
Well, you know, the rocket scientists that we got, most of them came from Nazi Germany.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
There's a thing called Operation Paperclip. And in Operation Paperclip, the United States acquired all of Germany's rocket scientists, including Werner von Braun. So who's this cat? Jack Parsons. So go on that photo there. That's him dressed up in all the Satanist shit.
He looks like
look at that.
He looks like Iron Man's dad in the movies, in the Avengers movies.
This guy used to fucking dress up. Click on that link because that's the story. Look at this fucking outfit. This guy. Imagine this guy's a rocketry pioneer.
That's crazy.
From rocketry pioneer to deviant occultist, Jack Parsons was the ultimate mad scientist. So this motherfucker was like a real rocket scientist. And also a Satanist.
That's nuts, man.
Crazy.
How do you have all this knowledge?
Scroll back down.
Such an intelligent, smart person.
I just have a good memory.
And then you dress so goofy.
Me?
No, him.
Oh. This guy. Well, he dresses normal unless he's doing the Satanist thing.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, you know how to fucking, you're a literal rocket scientist. You know about rockets. And then in your free time, you're like, let me put out this goofy ass getup.
Yeah, so the 1930s, when the Suicide Squad began conducting their explosive experiments, rocket science belonged largely to the realm of science fiction. Oh, wow. So this guy, so they were thinking it was all horseshit. It was mostly science fiction. This guy was like a legit rocket scientist who's also a Satanist. So this guy's place, this Python Cowboy dude went to this guy's place and he said there's like blood splatter on the walls. There was like a chair that had like this red puddle underneath it. He was like, it creeped him the fuck out and he ran out of there. This is it.
That guy went to his place?
Well, he went to the facility.
Yeah, I said there's like, look, they got these people spray painted upside down crosses on the rocks and shit. I know he had video footage of it, but he said it's really creepy. So this is him when he's stumbling upon, like, they got Latin written on the walls, and it's weird. So a lot of these places, I guess, these Satanists had come in and they're doing like their little rituals in this place. Little psychos.
Earlier when I said that we like went too far with technology, I'm starting to take it back. Now I feel like, hey man, kill some time on Netflix or Instagram. Like, don't go spray paint upside down crosses and stuff.
Don't be sacrificing people in the woods.
Go get Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, get Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Go watch the new South Park.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to. But, you know, there's always been people that are like doing secret things on the fringe. You know, there's always been people like that are doing like forbidden secret things in society.
Yes, little penis people. Well, that has to be what it is. You know, you gotta find something to like obsess about. You gotta like distract people from your real issue sometimes.
I think there's also like people that are in these like elite circles of like world leaders and shit like that. I think they probably like to do the creepiest, most deranged shit secretly. You know, like they have these little secret societies together.
For sure. I think
It's always
so.
been the case.
There's gotta be some weird shit going on. Too much time and money on your hands could lead to some like how do I achieve the next level of being elite? You know what I mean? There was this guy so like when I used to go work at my dad's body shop, I'd stop at this gas station.
There's an object on road ahead.
Sometimes, and that area was a lot of like, it's like a hood area that would neighbor like the mansion area. So there's like a lot of rich folk around there too. And sometimes, man, there'd be people doing weird shit. There was a guy, his little memory still goes through my head. Not like elite weird shit, but just weird. Like there was a guy who would hold like his paintings, like from his house. He had like really nice paintings. Park, he had like an old school, I don't remember what he drove. It's fucking expensive. I just remember this guy's like rich. He just hold like these fucking paintings and just stand on the street like a homeless man. And it's just fucking.
Just want everybody to see his painting.
Yeah, it's just nuts. He's just fucking rich, crazy guy with way too much time on his hands. And when I saw that, I was like, bro, like once you reach a level of money, like you probably just do crazy shit just for the fuck out, just because you can. You know what I mean?
Especially if all you do is make money. Like that's what those dominatrix ladies always say. That their clients are always these guys who are like these CEOs of mega corporations, and they just want to get pissed on and yelled at and slapped.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, they want to get tied up and thrown in the corner. Shut the fuck up. And they come over and kick them in the balls. They want that.
Bro, did you ever seen that movie? I mean, it's like they made the movie about the movie The Room.
Yeah.
That was like Tommy Wiseau, or what's his name? I don't remember his name. I always mess it up. But there's that scene in the movie that made fun of the movie where like Joe Rogan's character, like
Right.
the director, goes to the bank and he's
Right.
like, I want to cash this check. And they're like, all right, yeah. And he's like, holy shit, it worked. And the bank teller's telling him, he's just like, this guy's bank account, it's like a bottomless pit. That amount of money has to be kind of scary though. Because you either go make shitty movies with your money that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, like that guy, which is funny, or you also do scary shit. Like that's a scary amount of money to have. So I know people who like, you know, struggle financially, probably like, oh man, fuck, if I could just have this money, if I could just have that money. Like yeah, life would be easier. But if there's no challenge, if there's no maze to run through, what are you really gonna do with that much free time?
I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna get in a homemade submarine and die in the ocean.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, those dudes. That's exactly what that was like. That was $250,000 a ticket to get in that submarine and die.
The submarine had no windows, right?
Well, it had like little small windows. You don't really see. You're seeing things through a screen.
They call me old school, but I feel like if I spent $250,000 on the ticket, I want like a luxurious experience. I want to see the fucking ocean, not through a tiny little
Clearly.
screen. I want communication with the outside world. Like I do want to get rich. Don't get me wrong. I do want to get rich because I feel like pretty soon, you know.
What are you gonna buy? What
just
kind
want-
of car are you gonna get?
I mean, I'm not too worried about all that. I really want to save
Man,
money
you
to
like
like.
painting? Don't you want a
I
dope
want to
car?
go to the moon.
Oh, you're one of those dudes.
Yeah, Elon Musk is probably gonna offer rides soon. You know, $250, $250,000 a ticket.
I think you could already get into space for that amount of cheddar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you can get into space for like $250.
I want to go to space.
Like the Blue Origin, don't they fly people into space? Or are you waiting for
In 600 meters, use the right 2 lanes to stay on Trans-Canada Highway, British Columbia 1 West.
Yeah, no, I definitely want them to get the kinks out. You know, work out the glitches and shit.
Use the right 2 lanes to stay on Trans-Canada Highway, then use the right 2 lanes to take exit 28B.
Hell,
Yeah.
crashed into the ocean, burning alive. Blue Origin. For suborbital flights, Blue Origin typically charges around $200,000 to $300,000
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 28B, then merge onto Grandview.
per person. Cost includes a 1-hour flight and a 3-hour preparation program. For those looking to go into orbit, Blue Origin's orbital launch services range from $50 million to $100 million per person. Yo,
It's a big difference.
that is a giant difference.
All right.
Suborbital, is that good?
You go up for, I think, send you up for about a minute or two, and then you just float back down.
How far do you go? What's the height? What's suborbital?
Suborbital means you're not going out technically of the range where you need to go. You're going very, very high. That's like where they send Wave Shatter to.
Is that where they send the guy? Remember the guy who skydove from the outer
that
layer
wild motherfucker.
for Red Bull or whatever?
Yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah.
It's Andy Stump.
Man.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Was it Andy that did
No,
it?
no, no, that was like,
that's a different guy.
yeah, yeah.
Andy did something similar. He was on a fucking plane.
There's suborbital right here.
Okay, this is
So
suborbital.
they're still floating.
So they're above Earth. They get to look down. They're
Wow.
weightless,
Look at William Shatner. He's like, I'm too old for this
but
shit.
you don't get way up there where you're looking down on the ball.
I don't even think that's fun right there, because are you even... It's like, I feel like the Earth is so bright, you can't even see the stars and shit.
You definitely probably won't see a star.
No, you don't see the stars.
That's not worth it. I'm not doing that.
But I think to see the stars, you gotta go.
I don't know
Fuck
that they're
up
even
there.
seeing them in the spaceship.
You gotta go
Maybe
way the
they
fuck
do.
up there.
I want to go into, like, the abyss.
You probably do when you're on the dark side, don't you think, Jamie?
Yeah, but how many? No one's been there for a long time.
Right, but you go over there for a whiz, right? You're like, it's real fast. You're going like 17,000 miles an hour, right? Isn't that the space station?
Yeah, I could look into this. I think the only star you can probably see is the sun. Because it's gonna have
When
to
you're on
be-
the other side,
This
the dark
is changing
side.
my financial
I don't know.
You gotta get $100 million bucks, bro. You gotta go way up.
I wonder how much it costs for them to send me to, like, a wormhole or a black hole.
Well,
Nah. If I'm like,
imagine you come back and you're in the Mongol days. You're like, motherfucker.
what is the Mongol days?
Like when Genghis Khan ruled the earth and killed
Oh,
10% of the population.
That would suck. It sucked to, I don't know. I hope not even to come back, though. I'd just go somewhere else. Maybe there's, like, another planet, another universe.
Another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Remember when Bradley Cooper went through it and then he came back and Earth was like saved, but they're like living in these like cylinder fourth dimension things or something like that? Was it Interstellar? You see Interstellar?
Oh, that wasn't Bradley Cooper. That was Matthew McConaughey, right?
Matthew McConaughey. I always get his names mixed up.
those confused.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper will get his chance too, but yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Bro, even he got back in the ship and was like, nah, I'm out.
So, yeah.
Okay, during spacewalks into Earth's shadow, astronauts can see stars once their eyes adjust to the darkness.
Holy shit, your eyes have to adjust to the darkness of space.
Right, but that's spacewalks in Earth's shadow. I don't think that's the same.
They don't go
Okay.
behind the moon.
Space station, a habitable artificial satellite in low Earth orbit that serves the space environment.
That trip I've told you about a few times that Steve Aoki's supposed to go on. It's supposed to be like one of the first man trips back around the moon.
Steve Aoki, don't do it.
Bro,
I've
Steve
said this
Aoki,
to him before. Let me say it again. Don't do it, buddy.
that guy is fucking badass.
He's badass. He's a cool dude too.
We know a lot of cool people.
He's very cool.
But I don't
On
think-
crew for first mission to the moon, Steve. You want to be on the 100th mission. But by the way, I think they did 100 of those submarine dives before that one exploded.
Oh shit.
I think they did a bunch of them.
Damn.
It wasn't like they were the first people. They probably go, oh, you got the kinks worked out. I'll try this bitch out.
I've done it 100 times. What could go wrong?
Fucked up.
Even car accidents happen every day.
Well, if you send the same thing down there 100 times, you also got to think, like, how many times can it go before it caves in? Have you guys pressure tested that motherfucker at 30,000 feet below the earth?
That is
Or
another
wherever, however
fucking-
deep you're going?
Such a scary thing about the sea is the fucking pressure. If you come up too fast, you could like get sick, right? You gotta get like
get the
incubated.
bends. Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
there
you get
other,
fucked up.
are there other things like that submarine trip available that we just don't know about?
I'm sure there are. I'm sure that's not the only one, right? I bet the Russians will take you down. Remember that movie with the Russians, the Odessa Files? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The documentary? The Odessa, what was that called? But there was a documentary where this dude, they offered to sell him a fucking submarine. This drug dealer.
It's just
Operation Odessa. He goes, do you want nukes too? He's like, what?
what the fuck?
Nukes.
They offered to sell them nukes.
They offered to sell him nukes. They
That's
offered to sell him a submarine.
That's true freedom, I guess. You know.
Well, I think if you got that drug dealer money. Yeah, Operation Odessa. Click on that. Who made that documentary?
I should have sold drugs.
Tiller Russell. That's right. Tiller Russell, who was a guest on the podcast and told us all about this. This is a wild dude who's a real guy. A Russian mobster in Miami sold a Soviet submarine to Colombian coke smugglers.
Nice.
7 years ago, filmmaker Tiller Russell was preparing to meet the former Russian mobster at the center of Miami's craziest true crime caper of the 90s. And he was hoping, or more like praying, a guard at the prison deep in a Panamanian jungle wouldn't screw him over. Yeah, it's an amazing story. The documentary's incredible, but it's all true. They back then, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, they're like, what do you want? You want to buy nuclear bombs? We sell you nuclear bombs.
Oh, I gotta write that down. I gotta fucking check it out.
Yeah, it's a great documentary.
Submarine.
He did an amazing job at that film, too. It's just like, the way it puts it together, you're like, what? But it's all real stories. I think back then, like, you could buy shit. You need a tank? Talk to Victor. Victor can get you a tank.
That's what I like
You
about...
want a big tank?
That's what I like about just being here in Texas. I feel like most shit you can buy.
Most shit. You can buy tigers out here.
Yeah, one of my uncles had a tiger, but he said it got really expensive to feed it.
Oh, I would imagine.
He was down in South Texas, also doing some less than legal business. And he said he feeded like a lot of chickens.
Yeah, they eat chickens whole.
Yeah.
But that's like a snack for a tiger.
He was like, after a while, it's like it got too fucking expensive to keep it.
How many chickens are you going to feed a tiger in a day? I would imagine like 5 or 6 chickens.
5 or 6, maybe, yeah.
At least.
Also,
They're huge.
How much room do you give the tiger to like live? You know, like
Right.
That's gotta be fucked up.
Right.
I'm
How
not
do you
like
make
a
sure he
huge.
doesn't get out?
I'm not like a PETA guy or nothing, but damn, come on, man, let the tiger like breathe, like.
Yeah. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have a tiger in a fence. But also, a tiger in the wild is way more dangerous. Like, that's a dangerous thing. Yeah, so just let them loose out there. And
You ever
then
see
what do
those
they do? They
people
kill
who like
people?
raise it from like